Contestant number 6, Emily Tjaden, has been actively involved in art for 5 years and has won awards for many of her pieces. Tonight, in an audiovisual presentation and display on easels, she will be showing us and explaining some of her work. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Emily Tjaden.
Everyone has their thing that they do. Some people dance, some people sing, others do sports. Well, I've done it all. I even played the accordion for a year. I've enjoyed every activity that I was a part of and still am, but it wasn't until my 7th and 8th grade year of art that I found my true calling. This is a drawing of me that I did my 8th grade year, and this drawing changed my life forever. And Tara Hager, who's my art teacher here at Hawley, saw the potential and talent inside of me and encouraged me to continue and pursue art. And with that, I chose what I truly wanted and what I have a passion for, and listened to my own heart and not what my parents or friends wanted me to do. Art is something that people can guide you in, but can't really teach you. And I love art because you can't really compare with anyone else. Mrs. Hager has pushed me as a growing artist to experiment with new mediums and techniques. This has made me appreciate other artists as well. So as you can see in the bottom left corner, that is a print that I have done. And these drawings right here are done with colored pencil, and these two are done with pastel and charcoal. Without her, I would not be the artist that I am today. So I give credit to her for encouraging me to do this. I don't just create my art piece. I don't just choose to, say, oh, I'm gonna paint this. There's a process that goes into it beforehand, and it includes deep thinking and planning. Here's an example of one of my plans that I have to do before a piece. So I am assigned to select 8 photographs or photos of art pieces that I am supposed to write a critique about, a few sentences. I turn that in to Mrs. Hager, where she gives me some feedback and ideas and leads me in the right direction of where I want to go with the piece. Also, it's a little hard to see, but that is 4 thumbnails that I also turn in. They're loose drawings just to get a sense of the composition of the piece. Here's another example. This is my grandma Peggy, and I love doing this piece, but here's an example of the plan that I did. And here's an example of a sketchbook that I'm assigned to do every week. It helps me get out the kinks before I actually, create a piece. So I work on techniques and just figure stuff out on my sketchbooks before I actually do some of my pieces. So in this project, this is one of my favorite projects, I was assigned to create a character and build a 3D model of it, basically. So in this plan, I had to create the structure of the pig so it would be, stable. And then to create the figure of it, I used newspaper and sculptable. This is one of my proudest paintings, I'd say. I know it doesn't look like much, but painting from life is so much more difficult than painting from a picture you took or, that. So I used dramatic lighting by shutting off all the lights and shone a flashlight on real fruit that I actually drew. And you can see me working on that process. And mastering lighting is a goal of mine. Mastering lighting can make a piece look realistic. So if you don't have the lighting right, then it can throw off your piece. So that was a goal of mine in this piece. This is another example of me mastering lighting. This is actually the same grandma that was on the other slide. This is a picture of her in her camper, a room in her camper, and it just gives me good memories. So that's why I wanted to paint this piece in the first place. But as you can see, I wanted to master that light source coming in from the window on that side. This is actually the first painting that I had ever did in art class. This painting changed my life forever. The way I see color now from before this painting, it's unreal. I go outside and or even driving down the road, I will see something or a color and I mix the two colors in my head to create that color. So this painting taught me a lot about color and a passion for creating transparent water, making it look actually clear. This is a drawing of, and it was inspired by my grandpa's boots. When we walk into my grandparents' house and going up to the steps in the basement, there's a pair of his boots. He's a farmer. So I really wanted to incorporate that in here. This is also the first piece that I really discovered my style. So in a lot of my drawings, I incorporate this scumble look. And yeah, I just wanted to give it the loose lines. I don't know, something about loose lines really comes to me, and yeah. Here is another drawing. As you can see, it's a little hard to see, but I incorporated the scumbles in this drawing. This is a grid drawing, so I basically transfer lines onto another paper and to really get the proportions right. So in this painting, or this drawing, I mean, I took a picture with dramatic lighting and used an app to edit the photo, make it black and white. And for this is a white charcoal drawing, so I drew on black paper, so with white charcoal. So I basically drew in reverse, I drew in the highlights instead of shading in the lowlights. And this actually is easier for me to do than actual drawing, which is kind of cool. Music is an inspiration in my art. So around this time, I was listening to a lot of jazz music. Louis Armstrong, who I drew down here in the corner, and he's also presented in there in my altered book that I did. Yeah, it just makes creating art a lot more fun, and you really get into it. Here's another example of how music has inspired my artwork. This is my first oil painting that I did, and it is of Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen. And the process, you just get lost in the music. I would listen to Queen music all the time while creating this, and it was just lots of fun. This is a chart or a color pencil drawing that I did, and I get so lost in my work sometimes that time just flies by. I don't even know, how many hours I spent on it. But one day I sat down and I spent 8 hours on this, and I actually found myself standing on a chair while drawing, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I just get so lost into my work that I don't know where my mind goes. I'm just so focused. This is another painting of mine. This is actually the last oil painting that I just did. It is of Lake Superior, where my grandparents have a place up there, and I just love the rocks and nature up by Duluth, so I was inspired to paint that. And this is another painting where I just got lost. I spent almost a month, several weeks, every day I would work on it, and oil painting, of course, or oil paint dries a lot slower than acrylic paint like this painting would be. So, and it challenged me because it was a lot bigger canvas than what I've worked on previously. Wrapping up, I still love to participate in many activities, But art is a passion and talent of mine that has opened my eyes to a whole new world. It has connected me with people who believe in me and celebrate with me. This summer, I was honored to be selected to work with Heidi Goldsberg, the professor at Concordia College. And I have a mentorship with her, so she's going to be teaching me a lot of new techniques, and I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to be awarded that mentorship. And I just wanted to end with this quote. This quote is on my keychain. Life is art, art is life. I never separate it. That represents me, so thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.